Isaiah Cooper. I'm in your class, you should know this. And today, well, for a project at school, I'm going to be talking about the Indians. Yes, well, not Indians, Seminoles, I mean. They're a kind of Indian tribe. And, fun fact, the Seminoles were also known as Chickees or Cheekies, which is their house. So keep that in mind. And the first topic is the Seminoles' culture. Their culture is like where they live and what they do. But what they do is around the end. So we're just going to do like where they lived. They mainly lived in the Everglades and southern Georgia. Then they started to live in Austin, Texas and Dallas, Texas. And in the Everglades is where they mainly lived because those were the most sources of the good food. Southern Georgia mostly had, well, really all they had there was buffalo and like bison and stuff. So really, thanks to the Columbian Exchange, we have horses and pigs and chicken and bacon, which is part of pig. And well, they brought a lot more animals and plants thanks to the Columbian trade. We have a lot of good stuff. And now, the second topic isn't really a topic. It's like questions and answers. These questions I found online. The answers, I think I got right. Not sure. Question 1. Why did the Seminoles go to war a lot? Well, my answer, for territory and food. And because they like their land, so that's for territory, and their food is very good. That's why we got buffalo wings and stuff. And so, their food because it tastes good. Yeah. And question 2. What other Indians did the Seminoles fight? Because they fought themselves sometimes. Not themselves, like beating themselves up, but there was other Seminole tribes. And so, those Seminole tribes would walk into Florida and southern Georgia and Texas. Then the Seminoles that I'm talking about didn't really know them, so they'd go to war. It's kind of like fight fire with fire. It's the same, but fight Seminole is a real thing. And when it says what other Seminoles did they fight, they fought the Appalachee, the Calusa, and the Cheyenne. Yeah, Cheyenne. I keep forgetting that name. And so they fought mainly the Appalachian and Cheyenne because they kept wandering into Florida, not knowing what they're doing, but mainly for the food. They didn't want their territory because they had their own in other states. So they'd go to war a lot, and Calusa didn't wander into Florida much, but they still fought them when they did. Now, the final question. Was there any other kind of Seminoles? Yes, the Black Seminoles. The Black Seminoles were Africans who came with the Columbian trade after they started bringing girls with them. And the Africans helped them on the plantations and stuff. So the Seminoles, most of them dead, couldn't do any work because the Columbus and the other Europeans were trying to take over. But once Columbus died, people found out he died, and so they brought other Europeans to take off of Columbus's work and make more crops and stuff. And 2 fun facts actually. Most of the war, well not most of them, but a couple of the wars were actually from coffee and sugar canes. Wow. Something so silly to fight over. And so, the Africans, when they met the Seminoles, they liked them, so they made Black Seminoles. Now, the third topic, second to last. The Seminoles' basic necessities. That's like basic necessities, like stuff they need, like food and shelter and clothing and weapons and tools. That's what it says. Now, for food. Everyone needs food to survive. We need food and water. And food and more water. And so, the Seminoles fought for their food, like I said in topic 2. Well, questions and answers. And so, they needed their food because they wouldn't be so plump. If they did eat food, they're good and plump. If they didn't, then they're more likely to die. And so, for clothing, thanks to them, we have clothes. If we didn't, I wouldn't be in school because I don't want to be I just don't want that to happen. And so, if any Indians, well, actually, they started out just sewing yarn and stuff. Then they made tidy whities. And so, they would wear them, and that used to be all they used to wear. Then they started making more stuff, and they made the shirt and the pants. And fun fact, they actually made the dress. Yes, it's weird, men used to wear them too, but they made the dress. And shelter. This one is pretty easy. Shelter is like what we're in right now, a building. We're both in a building, video and school. So, and they use the building for like their cheekies, which is also their nickname. Keep that in mind. And so, in their shelter was about 7 or 8 feet tall. So if you was over that height, then you're gonna have to crawl. And so, their houses started out like just teepees, like the triangles or cones. Then you make those out of straw and stuff. Then you got more material like clay, which is just water mixed with mud. Oh, dirt, which is mud. But still, they used to do that, make clay, then you started making spheres, then squares, and then, well, what we're in now. All crazy kinds of shapes. So, thanks to Seminoles, we have the Empire State Building and really famous buildings. Now, this is the final one for basic necessities. Their weapons and tools. Their weapons are just like ours, knives and bow and arrows, but they didn't have guns. Thanks to the Columbian Exchange, the Christopher Columbus and the people who came with him and after him brought guns. And they brought swords. I always pictured that their kind of swords were the old Italian ones with the weird handle. And so, yes. When they brought guns with them, Seminoles learned how to use them. So they started shooting guns. And that's what made a really big war between the Indians and the Europeans. By guns and knives and bow and arrows and staffs and not spears. Whatever those triangle things and stick things are called. I forget. And their tools are like ours. The hammer was a stick and a rock. The screwdriver, just a stick with a pointy end. And actually, they didn't really use those tools. They mainly used their bare hands for stuff. Except for killing and stuff. That's it for basic necessities. Now, they're... Okay. Now, the other part of their culture, like what they did. Now, art was a main part of their lifestyle because art came back from years before them in Mesoamerica, where the Aztec, the Maya, and the Olmec, what they used to do is it was in Maya, I think, or the Aztec. They used to use symbols for their numbers and letters and stuff. So, thanks to them, we had the alphabet, the numbers, and yeah, other stuff. And there's also the basket, like our Easter baskets. They're actually, like, if you have one that's made out of burned grass, don't throw that away, because that's very valuable to some Indians. It was made out of, well, the Indians used to call it sweet grass. or soy grass. And those baskets they used to carry their crops in and stuff. And that's what they used to carry babies in when they were newborns. And like I said, actually sweetgrass was made for 60 years before. So if you want, do 1491 minus 60. Then you'll see how long sweetgrass and Cheekies were made. So, fun fact, in the future, some Seminoles owned their own casinos and they had part of the government. So, that's for today. See you later and goodbye. Thanks for your time. Auf Wiedersehen.